All right, greetings, welcome back. Greetings, welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. How y'all doing? Good to see y'all here. Took a really long time for. Was anybody having issues with Rockfin yesterday? I don't know. I was having some issues with Rockfin. It just wasn't working for a while. For a couple hours, it just wouldn't load. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was just glitchy. Maybe just me. I don't know. But welcome. It's December 1st. The first day of the last month of the year. And how time marches on, doesn't it? Well, let's... hopefully y'all can hear me. Let me know if there's any issues with the sound. Please let me know. Got lots to talk about today. Well, we'll start with this. More floods. This is in Jeddah. Zoop. Time-lapse video of water going up and water going away. Seems to be happening more often, more frequently, all the time, etc. No audio horrors yet. Okay, good to know. Yes, it is not hot. It is actually kind of chilly here. I think we're going to get some rain. It's officially the winter of Los Angeles, which, you know, compared to other places, there's not much of a winter, but it is cold. Anyways, what else is going on? Poppy sent me this. Tornado Alley, Central U.S. is moving eastward. Increased activity in the southeast, eastern Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. If you have been paying attention, there seems to be, and not just an increase in tornadoes, but in the area that tornadoes can affect places, right? They seem to be happening in more places with a higher frequency. And, you know, there's a direct correlation. There's a straight line between more energy in the atmosphere due to heat and the increase in storm activity, tornadoes, etc. In recent years, scientists have noticed an increased frequency of tornadoes in the southeast. You don't have to be a scientist to notice this, by the way. You can just be a person who is aware of things going on around you. Carving a path of lost property and lives, the widely known Tornado Alley includes the area from central Texas stretching north to Iowa and from central Kansas and Nebraska east to western Ohio, according to NOAA. And while Tornado Alley in the Great Plains still leads in the number of tornadoes, more are appearing in the southeast, in eastern Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Tornadoes shifting further east have been taking a devastating toll. So there you go. Also, nocturnal tornadoes are more common in the south. Tornadoes at night, the ones you can't see but just hear. Sounds scary. It's not uncommon for a tornado in the southeast to travel faster than 50 miles per hour. This puts more pressure on forecasters to get a tornado warning out in time enough for the public to react. So there you go. And I guess Alabama is getting the worst of these tornadoes as far as fatalities. Anyways, there's a knock-on effect of climate change, and we talk about this often. Elliot Jacobson posts this about the what? Oh, I think Elliot Jacobson blocked me. Oh yeah. Let's see. Well, I guess I can't show you that tweet. Darn. Just because I replied to, he's posted something about COVID. Kind of misinformation about COVID. He was like, well, there's more deaths happening in the vaccinated. This is why. Like, no. And so I replied to him, and I wasn't being mean or anything. I just said, or this could be happening, and I suggest you go look at, refer to Dr. John Campbell, referring you to another doctor. And he, in a very scientific fashion, took that information on board and then blocked me. So there you go. Professor Elliot Jacobson. It just goes to show you that being a doctor or a scientist does not, keep you from also believing in propaganda or believing falsehoods based on propaganda or believing in things due to confirmation bias. Oh, well, that sucks. He was talking about Arctic sea ice extent, which is pretty low. It's actually the lowest since 2016. I can just paraphrase what he was saying. There's a lot of heat anomalies going on. Well, that's too bad. I'll miss seeing Elliot Jacobson's tweets. It's unfortunate that so many climate aware people are, complete suckers for propaganda when it's from a particular group of people. I don't know. Or maybe read Jem Bendell. Let's keep going. I mean, it's not that Elliot Jacobson actually has a unique. I mean, he has a fairly doomerish take on climate change, but he is not unique in his information about climate change. All right. This is some. Actually, we were talking about solutions the other day. This was from Fantomas. And this is kind of cool. And this is pointing to a natural solution, kind of a natural solution to climate change. and to current problems. I'll read the headline. Bangladesh farmers digging simple wells have created an irrigation wonder with rice overflowing. Hey. How did they do this? Over the last 40 years, smallholder farmers in Bangladesh, using very simple methods, turned the dry Bengal Basin into one of the richest croplands on Earth, where 2 to 3 rice harvests can be had per year. They created a climate-resilient water system dubbed the Bengal Water Machine, which has kept an underground reservoir topped up, even through extensive mechanized irrigation by accumulating seasonal monsoon rains totaling a volume of 75 to 90 cubic kilometers of water. That's the equivalent of half of Italy's Lake Como, to between 5 and 6 times the volume of Lake Windermere of England. Windermere. 1/6 of the volume of Lake Erie, double the volume of the Three Gorges Dam in China, triple the volume of the Hoover Dam reservoir of Lake Mead, or if you'd prefer the figure in gallons, 23.7 trillion gallons. This was found in a recent study awaiting peer review that took 1 million water measurements from 465 separate wells between 1998 and 2018. Compiled by Mohammed Shamsuddin, a data analyst and researcher at the Institute for Risk and Disaster Reduction, University College of London, it shows that humanity doesn't necessarily need, here it is, doesn't need expensive science fiction technology to ensure that cropland can remain irrigated if climate change corresponds to more intense droughts in the future. That's because the Bengal water machine is made up of nothing more than regular old wells dug less than 300 feet down, which increase the capture of the May to October monsoon rains and prevent them from draining into the Bay of Bengal. Sounds really simple and logical. During the November to April dry season, 16 million small landholder farmers pump water up from the reservoir under the Bengal Basin to irrigate their rice, which they produce in such numbers that they have become the world's 4th largest producers of the stuff, leading the nation to be completely grain independent. That's kind of cool. That's pretty great. This is a good story. In order to benefit from the operation of the Bengal water machine, we recommend identifying the potential areas where further freshwater capture is possible under current and projected changes in monsoon rainfall and irrigation demand. Like, what other places are suffering from severe drought? Could probably name quite a few, or are going to be in line to suffer from extreme drought in the coming years. They've looked at the results and reasoned that similar nature-based solutions could be well suited to other areas like the Mekong Delta or the delta of China's Huanghe River, which has already proven to be vulnerable to the effects of climate change. All right. We were talking about different ways to restart the hydrological cycle or combat climate change in a natural way. That looks pretty promising. Oh, I want to talk about this post that, we were talking the other day about the farmers in the Netherlands, and Timothy called in. Timothy sent me a post kind of stating what he said, but adding one more fact to it. The Netherlands export about 80% of their agricultural production. For beef production, they rely heavily on soy imported from Brazil. Oh, madness is a relative concept, I guess. So, talking about uh, the validity of the actions being taken in the Netherlands to combat emissions, nitrogen emissions, and whatnot. So that adds another wrinkle to the story, right? So they're producing a lot of beef, probably exporting a lot of that as well, and importing soy to feed the beef from Brazil. That seems kind of weird, right? That sounds like the merry-go-round of destruction of, international large-scale agriculture, and the shipping that goes along with it. I don't know. It kind of tips the scales maybe back a little bit towards, well, maybe it's the right thing to do. And maybe the farmers have to pound sand and go find another occupation. I don't know. Or something. Or maybe do it on a much smaller scale, right? On a community level. Who knows? I mean, farming can be big business. All kinds of things can be big business, right? And when you're talking about something that's a big business, that big business probably impacts the climate in a negative way. And probably the best way to get away from impacting the climate is to turn your big business into a small business. Or find another business. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But that I can't play the video. It's in Dutch. I don't understand it. Let's see. Okay, moving on. Oh, very quickly, I'm going to check the coffees. We'll check them again at the end of the show. I don't have any coffees yet, as of yet. We probably will jump off YouTube in a few minutes, just giving you a heads up. No tips on Rockfin as of yet, but we'll check in later. I don't know. I'm either or on again though, when we're talking about the farmers, if we're talking about the farmers, I don't see them saying, well, we got to close down all these car factories. I mean, maybe they will. Maybe they're going to. We got to shut down these airports. Seems a little weird, right? Seems a little like, well, let's go after food, the thing that feeds people first. Again, it's a very complicated situation, I think. And if they kick all the farmers off the land, are they just going to take over the production that the farmers are doing, right? You guys are doing it the wrong way. We're going to drive you all out. Now, we're going to do it the right way, but you nobody will be here to actually monitor whether we're doing it the right way or not. You see what I'm saying? It's very hot in South Africa right now. Summer heat in South Africa. This is from Poppy. Harsh heat wave in South Africa. Today, the temperature rose to 44.8 C. 44.8 C. This is the highest temperature recorded worldwide this month. That's pretty warm. It is summertime. Oh, you can't see it. It is summertime. Wendy DeLee says there was a thought that Elon Musk might buy YouTube once he gets done revamping Twitter. I wonder whether he will cut down on YouTube censorship some year. I actually have seen some people doing That actually already might be happening. I think YouTube is backtracking a little on their censorship. I don't know. I'm a little afraid to test it. Uh, 143 in Death Valley. When was that? Or when is that? 143. That's hot. That is hot. Yeah, I've seen some other people doing videos like on YouTube, kind of pushing the boundaries a little bit. Maybe maybe not going totally, over the line, but in 2000, okay, sounds hot. Maybe they're not going totally over the line. Haven't been there in decades. Okay. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe YouTube will lighten up on the censorship. I don't know. I guess I'm willing to take. Doing half a video on YouTube and talking about a few things for the time being, and instead of like getting totally kicked off or stricken, however you're supposed to say it. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, you know what? I was talking about this. I said yesterday, I wonder how the squad voted on the railroad strike. Remember we were talking about the strike yesterday? Yeah, you're right. Max Sarge, John Campbell is pushing the envelope. And I've wondered myself, he's so good. He does it so scientifically. And he's just bringing the goods, right? He's bringing the data. So it's kind of hard to censor John Campbell, but I often too watch his videos and I'm like, why is he still on YouTube? Or how is he still on YouTube? Somehow he's escaped what others have not escaped. But non-voting felons, that's funny. Are you happy only one squad member voted to back the railroad worker strike? And I could pretty much, I think I called it. I was wondering how the squad went on this vote. And I was thinking, you know what? They probably didn't back the workers. Because that's how they roll. So most of them voted in favor of the government-imposed deal, except for Rashida Tlaib. So that's cool. And then somebody says correctly, she doesn't count either. They always make sure to rotate at least one person in to cast a performative dissent vote. If it's beyond doubt, the evil option is always going to win. So they can keep a little cred as a block. It was just her turn to be a principled maverick. Right. Anyways, the squad is a joke. Chris Martinson. Yeah, he does a good job too. The other day, huh? What was he talking about the other day? I haven't really seen any Chris Martinson videos lately, and I feel like that's a mistake on my part. Oh, Campbell's got one strike, really? Yeah, he's just so unredacted emails finally reveal the shocking truth. I can guess what that means. Yeah, it's cool. I think that's going to just be a thing where people are going to try and push things out, push truth out, reality, what's really happening, and dare YouTube to shut them down. But YouTube is, if Twitter is opening up as going anti-censorship and so many other channels, right? All of YouTube's competition right now is probably from channels that are saying we're not gonna censor you. It might pressure YouTube to back off, which might be good. All right, we're gonna jump off of YouTube and go back to Rockfin. I'm going back to Rockfin. So YouTubers, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific